Well, it's an escalating blame game this weekend as the partial government shutdown now enters its second week on Capitol Hill. You know, the standoff over funding for President Trump's border wall, all but certain to extend now into the new year, presenting a day-one challenge for the Democrats, who take control of the House this coming week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to America's News Headquarters. I'm Eric Shawn.
And I'm Laura Ingle in for Arthel Neville. Great to be back with you, Eric. Democratic leadership blaming President Trump while Republicans accuse the party of refusing to take border security seriously. Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert echoing that sentiment on Sunday Morning Futures.
So this is total hypocrisy for Democrats to come along now after they squandered that money. We haven't been able to find out where, and say, oh, no, this would be where we put it. No, we've played that game before. When you got you the money, you didn't use it for that. We have got to have a tangible wall where we need it.
We've got Garrett Tenney live from Washington with the latest on this. Hi, Garrett.
Well, Laura, based on what we're hearing, the two sides aren't any closer to making a deal, and that's largely because full-scale negotiations aren't even taking place. Democratic leaders are continuing to refuse to negotiate with the White House, at least for now. That is expected to change later this week, though, when Democrats take control of the House and the new Congress. Both sides are accusing the other of playing politics with the shutdown. On Fox News Sunday, House Majority Whip Steve Scalise argued the main reason Democrats are against the wall is because they want to deny the president one of his key campaign promises.
If the Senate's got a different way and a better way to approach border security, they ought to put that plan on the table. Chuck Schumer was for this in 2006. I'd be curious to know what changed. Is it just that Donald Trump's the one now requesting it? But if he's got a better way to keep this country safe, I think it's incumbent upon him to show the American people what that plan is.
Democrats argue that President Trump is only pushing for the wall because it was a campaign promise, even if it's not the most effective way to secure the border.
And if the president wants to continue to take a campaign promise that he made, which was to have Mexico pay for a wall, and say, no, the rules have changed. Now we're still going to build a wall, but we're going to have the American taxpayer pay for it. We're going to use the American taxpayer like an ATM machine. That's not the right direction to go.
Senator Lindsey Graham is also floating a number of possible compromises that would give Democrats some of the things that they want in exchange for funding for the wall. But so far, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi have said the wall is a non-starter. So there's still a long ways to go in these negotiations, meaning the shutdown isn't likely to end over the next couple of days, at least.
That's what everyone keeps saying. All right, Garrett Tenney, thank you so much for that report live in Washington.
And there's new reaction from the White House on the border wall funding battle. Here's Kellyanne Conway, counselor to the president, speaking on Fox News Sunday this morning.
People who just want to say wall, 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 want it to be a four-letter word and not respect what Customs and Border Patrol and ICE tell us they need, which is enhancements at the border. Always saying wall or no wall is being very disingenuous and turning a complete blind eye to what is a crisis at the border.
Ellison Barber now has more. She's on the north lawn of the White House for us. Hi, Ellison.
Hi, Eric. Democrats say they do not know exactly what the president wants here. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi told USA Today in an interview that President Trump says we're going to build a wall with cement and Mexico's going to pay for it, while he's already backed off of the cement. Now he's down to, I think, a beaded curtain or something. I'm not sure where he is. You heard Kellyanne Conway there. The White House is accusing Democrats of playing word games. The president tweeted about the wall and used the word wall at least 12 times since Christmas, writing on Friday, we will be forced to close the southern border entirely if the obstructionist Democrats do not give us the money to finish the wall. Outgoing White House Chief of Staff John Kelly told the LA Times that President Trump is not actually asking for a wall. He says they moved on from that after speaking with Customs and Border Protection agents working along the U.S.-Mexico border. Here's what General Kelly told the LA Times, quote, they said, well, we need a physical barrier in certain places. We need technology across the board, and we need more people. The president still says wall, and oftentimes, frankly, he'll say barrier or fencing. Now he's tended towards steel slats, but we left a solid concrete wall early on in the administration when we asked people what they needed and where they needed it. Incoming acting chief of staff Mick Mulvaney says Democrats know what the president wants. It's the photo he tweeted, and they just don't consider that to be a wall. The White House says they came down from their ask of $5 billion and gave Democrats Democrats a counteroffer last weekend. For days, officials say they did not hear from Democrats, and when they did, Democrats said they were not going to make a counteroffer.
I believe the president is already compromised. He originally asked for $25 billion. The House is at 5.6.
Right.
They did their job. The Senate has to come back. It's a modest investment.
The president says, call it whatever you want, a wall, a fence, a barrier, steel slats. It doesn't matter to him. He says that he just needs funding for some sort of physical barrier at the southern border. Eric.
All right, Ellison, thanks so much. Laura?
In California, authorities arresting 7 more people in connection with the murder of a police officer. Corporal Ronil Singh was shot and killed early Wednesday during a traffic stop. Police say his suspected killer was living in the U.S. illegally. Jeff Paul is live in Los Angeles, continuing to follow this heartbreaking story. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Laura. Yeah, a total of 8 people are now in custody after being arrested in connection with this case. The first most prominent arrest being that of Gustavo Perez Arriaga. He's the man who authorities say shot and killed Corporal Singh after being pulled over on suspicion of DUI. Then there were 7 other people, including the suspect's 2 brothers and girlfriend, who were arrested accused of trying to help Arriaga. Now, following the developments, Newman Police Chief Randy Richardson spoke with Fox News about losing one of his finest officers, one of just 12 in the department.
It's a tremendous blow. We're having our ups and downs. We have good days, we have bad days. Not everybody's having them at the same time. We've had incredible support from other law enforcement agencies stepping in when we need it to cover our streets because we're not able to handle those shifts. It's been a tough few days.
Authorities say the suspect was in the country illegally. In fact, they say he was making a run for the border the day he was arrested. Investigators also say he had previous arrests for DUIs and known gang affiliations. Several now